So I inadvertently started a little bit of a shitstorm on my Facebook fan page today when I put a hostile commentary on an article about how the new Scooby-Doo cartoon was being accused of fat shaming and weight shaming, and Warner Brothers Entertainment, who puts out the cartoon, being in hot water because of this. That didn't go so well. And the reason it didn't go so well wasn't just because I was a giant asshole, which ironically, every time I'm a giant asshole on my fan page, the entire world thinks I'm a huge cunt. But every time I'm a complete asshole in these videos, I'm the best human being who's ever lived. I'm still trying to figure out how that works. The reason I put the hostile commentary on there is because I'm absolutely sick and tired of a lot of the shit that I also saw in the comments to my post. People who didn't even read what I wrote, they read into what they wanted to read into, and therefore went off about that. They went off about the language used. They went off about how I put it up in a hostile fashion. They went off about the words I was saying, not what I was saying. And eventually it got out of control, and I had to just completely delete the post because it was just becoming a complete fucking clusterfuck. So after I did that, I put up a more clarifying post that was less hostile, a little more constructive, and tried to get my ideas out there in a little bit less of a complete dickholes fashion. But even that didn't fare so well. And I got a 9-paragraph fucking book by a particular individual who just didn't even pay attention to anything that I said. So, once again, I'm going to use the medium of video, because for me it's a little easier to do it this way, to clarify what the fuck I was saying. And I'm going to do so pretty bluntly. I'm sick and tired of motherfuckers like you who don't even bother to pay any attention to the real issues at hand and only jump on a bandwagon of something because it makes you feel better about yourself. I'm really sick and tired of people that jump on a bandwagon of anti-slut shaming so that they can get away with being a complete whore and fuck people over left and right. I'm getting sick and tired of people who jump on the bandwagon of anti-weight shaming who aren't overweight, who don't have any comprehension of how to deal with the fucking issue. And yet they sit there and they want other people to sit there and fucking feel bad for them when they don't have any reason to be felt bad over. That's what I'm fucking sick and tired of. And that's one of the reasons that shit like Warner Brothers get in trouble when they do stuff like this in their cartoons, because of fucking stupid ass people who just want to make an issue out of nothing. This is why social justice fails on its fucking face every single time. And I'm so sick to death of all these people that want to call me a bastard because I see that shit and I call it the fuck out. There were people in the comments of my original post calling me Odysee and having the same views about fat people that he does. You want to know what Odyssee's views about fat people are? Fat people are undesirable sexually, so therefore they're shitty people. That's the extent of his fucking argumentation. That guy is such a fucking retard that he actually thinks that him being a scrawny, muscular fucking vegan, however scrawny and muscular can fucking work together, and even I'm still trying to figure that out because I'm scrawny and muscular too, but he thinks being that way makes him desirable sexually because he has no idea of what the dynamic of sexual desire really encompasses, or human desire really encompasses. His argumentation is fucking stupid. Just like every single one of his pro-vegan and pro-vegetarian videos, because he knows nothing about what he's talking about. So trying to compare the argumentations of him and I are completely fucking bogus. It doesn't work, because he's talking about something completely different, which he pulled from his ass. So I do take a little bit of offense to that. The reason I was a gigantic asshole, and the reason I said what I said in that commentary, was because it's fundamentally true. There are a lot of people out there who get on bandwagons like this because they feel guilty about what they do. They feel guilty about trying to get people around them to feel bad for them when they don't have a real issue. There are metabolically caused weight problems. There are problems that are caused by any other slew of medical problems that can lead someone to be underweight or overweight, and that they cannot fucking control. And people who call out people that are in those circumstances and say that you're just some fat fuck or you're just some skinny, scrawny fuck and you'll never be anything else. Yeah, those people are cunts. But people that are bigger cunts are people who want to just jump into those groups anyway when they don't even have a reason to do so because they're not really a member, so to say, of those groups and say, yeah, I'm so fucking infringed because of these people. No, you're not, so shut the fuck up. Okay, and the example I used also in my second post about this, which was a more constructive post, was the one thing I really hate about this whole anti-slut-shaming movement of how many fucking people that jump in it so they can justify using their sexuality to fuck other people over. You know, a lot of people will hate me for that statement because they won't pay attention to the fucking context of it. They won't pay attention to the implication that, yes, there are men and women and trans people in this world that use sex to fuck people over. Say they seduce someone to cheat on their significant other, and then they want to hold it over their fucking head and say, well, now I've got control over your life. You can't call me a whore for doing that because you're slut-shaming me. At that point, the reality is, who fucking gives a shit? Because they're behaving like a fucking whore. They're using their body to get an advantage over people. And when people say that, well, you can't slut-shame them, you're giving them a fucking free pass to behave that way, which isn't constructive. It's destructive. It's socially fucking destructive. And it's just bullshit that people that do that kind of crap, for example, get a caveat. There are people in this world who literally stay overweight and they don't try to do anything about it, even if they're not really that overweight to begin with, and they'll jump on this anti-weight shaming bandwagon and act like, you know, that's fair. They're lumping themselves in the same category as people that have serious problems with this and saying, yeah, oh yeah, I have the same exact issue, even though I don't, okay? You know, I want the same ability to stand on that pedestal and say that feel bad for me. And nobody feels bad for them. You know, another thing that I really dislike about this fake social justice bullshit, and I made a video about this a while back too, and I'll link it in the description box below so you can watch that, is when they bring like issues that have nothing to do with said topic into the fucking fray. And that really pisses me off because at that point it's just like you realize you have no fucking argument, so now you're going to bring this shit up for no fucking reason. You know, sometimes they'll bring in race into the equation, kind of like that fucking, what was his dumbass name? A Son of Man guy tried to do when he called me out for pointing out that he's a child abuser. He brought like race and religion in it. Well, you know, these kind of people do the same shit too. I remember a post when I referenced my video earlier, and because I did a video on this, I remember a post on Tumblr where there was like 250,000 notes just slamming this one person who decided to take the race of a fictional Disney character from black to white, so it would be more suitable to the context of a fan fiction they fucking wrote. I mean, this is the kind of stupidity you're dealing with. People that make an issue out of something that fucking harmless. Well, you can't whitewash a character like that. They're not even a real person. They never existed. They were drawn on a piece of fucking celluloid by some fucker in a goddamn animation studio. Because if I remember correctly, this was a character from Princess and the Frog, which was one of the few recent hand-drawn animated movies that Disney's done. And this is just the stupidity of the fucking argument. I mean, that, you know, you're a racist because I have to find a reason for you to be a racist. You're an asshole because I got to go out of my way to ignore what you were actually saying to find a reason that you're an asshole. I mean, they didn't even pay, and the commenters of my original post, they didn't even fucking, for the most part, not everyone, but just specific people, they didn't even fucking pay attention to what I said. They just looked at how I said it. They didn't even fucking read between the lines at all. When I made a more clarifying post, which was kind of embarrassing that I even had to do that in the first place, you know, nobody bothered. You know, besides writing a 9-paragraph fucking essay about how I suck, and oh, what did they say at one point? Lick my fat cunt. Oh, attractive, real classy there. You know, I write something that's a little bit classier than what I originally posted, and I try to be constructive, and that's the shit I get. I'm supposed to take that shit seriously. I mean, when I see something that's just like this sea of I didn't pay attention, you know, I want to just make you out to be a complete fucking scumbag, and I don't even want to listen to what you have to say, then I'm just not even going to take the effort to read in depth into what you're saying, because it'll just be a repetition over and over and fucking over again of the same idea. I'm a dick. I said something you didn't agree with, therefore I'm a fucking, I don't know, like the scum of the earth, you know. And I'm just going to skim it. And even in skimming it, I'm like, what the fuck are they going off about? I mean, what are you fucking talking about? You know. And to this particular person, I'm not going to name names here. I'm not going to be that big of an asshole and, you know, direct a whole shit ton of people over to their page, because they don't deserve that. That's just going out of my way to be a cunt. But to be really honest, I know, okay, that you've got medical issues, okay, that make things different for you than they are for me. And I understand that because of the content of my original post, you could take it offensively, you know, as if I was pointing the finger at all people that, you know, have issues like this, and saying you're all a bunch of sick fuckers because you're fat. You know, that's not what I'm saying. And I take personal offense to you generalizing my argument like that. I'm so sick to death of this fucking mass of generalization shit that happens. I mean, eventually it boils down to, I'm like, are just the smart people in this world dying off? I mean, did somebody take a shit in our side of the fucking gene pool? But it wasn't just a big shit, you know, it was just like a little floater, and eventually it's sinking to the bottom, evaporating all the smart genes in it. So basically, the more that you follow the popular opinion, as opposed to formulating your own, the smarter you appear. And now it's becoming that the more you appear smart, the less you actually have to be smart. Is that what our society has literally just died into? Because that's how I feel sometimes. You know, there are times where I feel like I don't even want to continue doing this anymore. You know, whether it be just posting about this on Facebook or making these videos, because it's just like, how many fucking stupid people are in this fucking world? You know, I just thought that was an American thing, because, you know, we're the country that decided to drop its passing grade. We're the country that decided to say all you need to do to get into fucking college is have a goddamn pencil and some paper to write on. And dwindle down the model of our universities from being a place of academia to a place where it's just a certification center, where most people don't even bother to get they don't even bother to get past a master's anymore, because that's all you need to get a decent job. If you got a bachelor's, for example, in this country, you're fucking set. You can get any job you want to. It don't even matter if you're not even fucking qualified for it. You know, that's all you goddamn need. And yet we wonder why every country in the fucking world, pretty much, graduates more scientists than we do. Fucking Christ in heaven. But apparently, no, this is permeating all over the fucking globe. Like having a hair in my fucking mouth. That was really uncomfortable. But all in all, you know, I mean, if you get what I'm trying to say here, then more power to you. But if you're just going to look at, you know, everything face value, and then regurgitate the same fucking arguments that I've heard 80 trillion damn times, every time I've even bothered to open my mouth a little bit about an issue like this, then just go fuck yourself, because I don't want to fucking hear it. I really don't. I'm so bored of fucking hearing the same regurgitated, parroted shit. I was not trying to slam fat people on their fucking weight, you goddamn idiots. You wanted to fucking read that, therefore you did. You wanted to read only that. You didn't want to look at the bigger picture where I'm like, yes, it's really fucked up that there are people who want to sit there and bitch about something this minimized when they could just, you know, fix their own issue. But in the same time, it's mainly perpetuated, and this is the part they never got to, it's mainly perpetuated by people that it doesn't even apply to anyway. They don't going to get to that part. So fuck ya. Seriously. Fuck ya. I hope that clarifies things more. And if I'm a giant asshole still, whatever. Then there's no changing your goddamn mind. But next time, you know, try to make an effort to actually read what the fuck I posted. Try to make an effort to actually look at what I'm saying, not take it at face value and how I'm saying it. Because it'll really help you out next time you want to have some Tumblr fucking battle about how you're superior morally than everyone around you, and then wonder why, people can't take faux activism like this seriously anymore. I mean, this is just as stupid, as, in my opinion, it's about as stupid as these super feminists who think that the genocide of all men will be beneficial because, they don't want to look at the real issues at hand and think that, it's always men. It's like watching House. It's either always lupus or it's always never lupus. See, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, I'm some gigantic asshole on the internet, and you're not.